A staple that's preserved NASCAR history took its final lap today. The Winston Cup Museum has permanently closed its doors. This comes after a year-long battle between the museum and tobacco company ITG Brands. WFMY News 2's Giselle Thomas spoke to the museum's founder about what's next.
The NASCAR community came out in droves today to support the nearly two-decade legacy of the Winston Cup Museum. Its founder, Will Spencer, says nothing can keep him from sharing his love for NASCAR history.
A bittersweet see you later, but not a goodbye.
A thank you to Reynolds and a gift to the city. And history's hard to create, history's hard to preserve, and it's harder when it's gone.
This is an end of a chapter, but it's not at the end of the book.
Fourth-generation businessman Will Spencer says the Winston-Salem community is much like NASCAR, a family. That family packed the Winston Cup Museum one last time.
It's about everybody. It's about the drivers, where they were, the teams, the members, and it took everybody to make the sport what it was and what it is and what it continues to be today.
He says it's difficult to process how lawsuits over the museum's name led to its permanent close.
I think the hardest thing is to grow up with something, and I've had the museum 19 years.
The funding to preserve that history would require a rebranding they can't afford. Spencer says it started with him building model cars, and it turned into a career. But now he has bigger dreams beyond a collector's museum.
There's so many untold stories, so that's one of my main objectives, untold stories, and try to bring that piece that I didn't get to do at the museum.
Some fans say those stories is why they love the sport.
In my era, my time growing up as a kid, that's really what I enjoy about NASCAR, is really the history.
Just the thrill of being there, seeing the cars going around the track. It's a lot of fun, so it's exhilarating.
Spencer tells me he plans to auction off 33 cars in his collection at an auto auction in Kissimmee, Florida in January.
Troubles started for the Winston Cup Museum when ITG Brands acquired R.J. Reynolds Tobacco in 2017. That meant the company owned the copyright to Winston Cup images. Then ITG Brands filed a lawsuit against the museum. It closed briefly this year. Then it held a contest to reopen under a new name. Ultimately, the financial strain was just too much and the owners decided to close. The troubles aren't over yet. ITG Brands filed another lawsuit just last week saying the museum failed to comply with the first lawsuit settlement.